Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the stock market is ridiculously reacting. So we finally got a Trump win. We're going to talk about all that tonight. And I kind of want to talk about some safe stocks. You've heard me talk about hedging. There's a lot I want to break into tonight. Usually, since I am a trader, I am talking about not necessarily day trading, swing trading. I'm using these videos to talk to you about what I'm probably going to buy tomorrow. But this one's going to be a little bit more mid range as far as that goes. I gotta be honest, a lot of this, I don't want to say I'm sitting out. I'm watching my money go up, and I'm watching it go up a lot. But if you can even ask my group, if you're inside my private group, it's not a sales pitch or anything. I've done hardly jack. I mean, I have a lot of Mara that's going up. Beto, I bought Boeing, I bought gold, I bought some TLT. I've had a few buys, and that's it. And then I'm just watching things go up. So I'm kind of just trailing. And honestly, I told them this earlier. I don't care if I sit this whole week out. I don't need to have 9,000 trades. And there's clearly been a reaction. This is kind of like an earnings play. So just full disclaimer right there. Just because it's reacting doesn't mean you need to. So not that I'm cautious because I think anything. I'm just hanging out. I'm certainly not buying, right here. I did buy some Nvidia today. Um, anyway, I'm cautious about what I'm buying, and if I do buy something, there is time. I am buying shares and I'm not doing options contracts to give myself an expiration I could possibly be wrong on. Uh, but is there a way to buy puts on all the hoaxes both sides were pushing nonstop? No. We will keep it non-political, but we're obviously talking about somebody. He won. Let's kick it off from the top. As far as the dollar goes, absolute just gap and go. We are above this. This triggered my alert, by the way. So I was bullish this. It hit that zone and then sold off. Like, come on. What did it do first? It actually tagged my alert, which I had right here for me to go. I was like, let it break this low right here, right where my mouse is at. I was like, all right, there's our last low. We break that. I'm going in short. Let's do this. I've been short this thing for a while. It tagged out on the move up. Look what it does. It literally tags. What do? I go short because that's just what I do. I set alerts. When that alert goes off, right, my watch vibrates, pull my phone out of the pocket, and I just take the trade, and then I go on about my business. I'm not sitting there staring at screens all day. That sucks. I've gone live throughout the day, and I can see why it's something like the worst showing up ever. Like there's like 3 or 4 people live. It's boring. That's for scalpers, day traders, real high energy people. But anyway, I go short. Absolutely rips up. Probably could have sat the election out. Could have waited. But anyway, that's that. Bitcoin. Here comes the Bitcoin hype. Everything I have been telling you guys. If you guys are new here by chance, just know that right here, let's take the candles off. Right here, I told you guys, we have this trend line. We have this bright yellow zone. It's bright for a reason. I think we're about to break this. We're going to hit this zone. We're probably going to pull back. I'm going to buy some more. And then it did. Hit that zone. It pulled back. I bought a lot. So between here and here, I traded MicroStrategy. I bought Beto and Mara. I've done a lot of crypto trades in general. I don't actually trade Bitcoin. Bitcoin's something I just buy every week. I'm going to hold that forever. I think it's going to go much higher. I don't even care about 100,000. I'm going much higher than that. But the ETFs, things I've bought, Beto is a Bitcoin futures ETF. So I'm in that. And I actually have quite a bit of Mara. And I think Mara, Riot, with what there's Hut. As far as the miners go, they're Bitcoin hype stocks. People that think Bitcoin's going up, so they buy that instead. Again, if Bitcoin's kind of grinding its way up, they don't actually perform that well. Bitcoin's sending it, and people are talking about it on Facebook. It's going for it. I'll pull up Mara and show you guys. So again, not toot my own horn, just saying it's doing exactly what I said it was going to do. And you would have known that if you just had that little bell. All you had to do is watch the videos. These are 100% free. Anyway, I don't see this stopping. We could pull back. If it hits 73, I would say that's probably your dip buy. We kind of did that on a smaller time frame. Kind of pulled back, hit that zone, little bullpen it right there, breaking up. Honestly, right now, I'm not afraid of the markets. I wouldn't be afraid to be bullish. I told you guys I'm just not buying at highs because I just got to buy some red candles. If I'm really going to go in, I just want the dip buy. So looking out for that. Watching small cap stocks and altcoins. I saw the Russell was up. Soon as right as I'm about to just take the Russell out of here, it goes for it. Here's the S&P. We sell off, and I even said, like, man, we're probably going to sell off into the elections. But I kind of thought, yeah, Monday. I was like, yeah, we'll probably sell off a little bit more. Hang on, there's a heart on TikTok said, join my team. You should join my team. I thought we'd get a little more of a dip. We kind of just went flat. And then, man, you could say there's a lot of uncertainty with the election. This election panned out just, I don't even say this a lot, but chef's kiss, perfect. We know who the winner is. Like, I don't care who the winner is right now. I'm not going down that route. I'm just saying, like, it wasn't a they cheated, this and that. We're going to wait a month to find out who. I mean, I really felt like they were going to drag this thing on. I was prepared to just be off social media in general, hearing just all the nonsense. It's like, this is going to be annoying and it's going to last some time. So the markets will also react in that manner as far as the unknown. It's just not so unknown anymore. Kind of like earnings. Hey, they could say something crazy. They could say something good. There's a lot of what if going into that, and we finally got rid of that. Historically, November, December are bullish months. I'm sure someone in the comments will go back in history and tell me how November, December are on elections year. But again, I want to buy the dip buy. And you're asking the chat when is the dip buy? Like one of these red candles is going to be the dip buy. I think we're up there. Even bulls have to think we are up there. But overall, bullish trend. All signs point to up. I've been talking about a crash. Still think that's coming now more than ever, to be honest. And I even said right here, this is not the crash I've been talking about. I know I've sounded bearish, and then the red candle started to show up. But that was not it. I even called that to buy the dip. Now, full disclosure, I said we're crashing next year no matter who wins. They're going to blame it on the president. Didn't matter who wins. So that's not it's this person's fault or not, but I bet we see a lot of that later. And right now, kind of all signs point to unemployment. Maybe inflation rears its head back up again. So that's kind of where I'm at. It's kind of hard to predict these things. So far, I'm 3 for 3 as far as crashes go. Hopefully, I'm 4 for 4. As traders, we make a lot of money when the stock market crashes. We'll short on the way down. We'll buy the real dip. For now, between now and the end of this year, I am bullish. So any kind of, if we could get a couple red days, perfect, dip buy. On an intraday trend, maybe pull up the 9 EMA. Just watch the 15-minute trend. At least the remainder of this week, probably going into next week. If we don't get any serious movement, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm hanging out in the 15-minute time frame. Let me ask something serious. When is the Palantir dip buy? Palantir can just get delisted, okay? Just kidding. I only say that because I bought Palantir at 10, thought I was doing the right thing, and normally I trail things, and I sold it at just shy of 41, somewhere around there. Someone will tell me exact. Now, I do still have some, but a good chunk of it got sold. The growth count that everybody follows, that I post all my plays, sold it. And now we're at, 55? Ridiculous. So I do want to get back into that. But again, this right here, zero FOMO at all. FOMO is not why you get in a trade. FOMO is why you'll end up losing. The stock market always goes up and down. That's it. There's a lot of green days. There's a lot of red days. Who actually cares? You don't need to be in it every day. And I feel like we need to have that conversation more. Just hang back. Wait for the right time. If you literally wait for the right dip buy, you'll probably end up waiting a couple days, a week, depending on your time frame and what chart you're actually watching. It's actually not that far. It's easy to think it's never going to happen if you just laser focus on the 15-minute frame. You're going to see a whole bunch of candles, and psychologically, that's just going to eat at you. Right now, hang out. What if you take a week off? I promise you the stock market's still going to be here. If Peloton can still be here after all this time, the S&P is still going to be here in a week, okay? As far as the S&P goes, we are outside the expected move. I actually did sell some call spreads on the NASDAQ today. NASDAQ hit all-time highs. We opened up with a little bit of a gap down. Honestly, right now, if we hit this zone right here, we're probably just building a bull flag. Probably the dip buy. Another thing I told my chat is I was staring at charts all day today. I don't know how many times I almost pulled the trigger and went short, and I mean over and over again. I was like, "We're high. I'm gonna catch this knife," and I was eager to. I didn't. So what I told the chat today was I'm just going to be the second seller. That's all. I'm going to let the selling show up, and then I'll jump on that train. And I don't care how high the bull train takes us. If I'm going short, it's going to be because the red candles are there, or if we kind of just fade into a bull flag, then I got to buy the dip. Lisa, I did sell some call spreads on QQQ because I even said I sold. We're just doing the futures first, but I thought we were again a bit up there. So we got outside here. I sold some 410, 412 call spreads, and I don't know if that's something I would just be sounding the alarms on for everybody to do. It's a $2 spread. What I clicked $50 for it, something like that. So I'm risking $150 to make 50. When you're an option seller, that's kind of how most of your trades actually are. The numbers game are on your side. I'll win that trade a million times versus the few times you'll end up losing. Waited till we got outside the expected move, thinking the market makers rein it back in. It's why I watch these levels. I told you guys at the beginning of this week, we're going to be outside here or here, one of the two. And when we got outside that, I was either going to sell some put spreads or call spreads. And I was chomping at the bit just to go short to catch that knife. So that's why I say I don't know if everybody should be following me into that one. Again, it was I don't know being in my seat if this is maybe a proper way or something I should be saying, but I'm just telling you guys what I do. Sometimes I don't know how to word it. You just got to scratch that itch. Me personally, if I didn't go short this, and I kept checking and I kept checking. I know when I do that, when you get hyper focused on something, in the past, I finally pulled the trigger and it wasn't a few spreads. It ended up being just straight puts or something like that. And I've taken some a lot bigger losses. So it was one of those like, let me just get some skin in the game. Let me just do something with the market just to, hey, I did it. So if that ends up being a loser, sucks to suck. Won't be big, and it won't just be what puts would have cost me if this just continues. You're jumping in front of a freight train going short like this. If it wasn't 50, it was $38 then. You got it most 25? Nah, I'll check. Get those wins. 50 on Nvidia then. Anyway, so hoping that pulls back. As far as the Russell, finally sending it. Bright yellow zone because this was horizontal for the longest time. Right here. So we got above. I guess we have to zone this out. Wait till I see the Dow. I have not checked the Dow. We're getting there. Ooh, where are the sellers hanging out here? So well, I guess my lines quit working. Let's go over here. Okay, so I'm watching this wick right here. So I'm looking for where's that area of attention? Where did everybody sell? We were in a clear run right here. We kind of have this indecisive candle, so we ran into some sellers. If it's price discovery, if we were looking for a different group, that's where they were. We're just in an absolute run. We had a hiccup right here. Tried a little bit further. Ultimately came back down. Got a little bit further. Bounced around. I kind of want to and I'm trying to grab the meat of it, right? This is just where I want to pay attention. I look at these wicks as outliers. Like, yeah, we got outside there a couple times. We did reject. We came back down. We danced around. If I were to reference like a magnet, this is the strongest point. Still have some pull outside, but it starts to get weaker as it fans out. And that's where I care to take it because the volume's never an issue. Like getting in and out, never a thing. And that's how I just structure my trades. So as far as the Russell, I have to keep an eye on that area right there. Let's see where we're at. And as a matter of fact, we actually jumped up. Try to make that big for everybody on mobile. Where are we at? Why is it not showing? I feel like TikTok can't see. There we go, the 2 lines. So we actually jumped up, hit that, sold back off. Oh man, if I had to do anything, I would say go short with the stop right above here. Hope it hits that yellow zone. It feels lonely in the trading chat. Oh no. Well, Cody quit scalping, and I'm not doing much. Plus, plus when you get outside the zones, that's cheating. Sorry, I try not to. Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. Tom effing Lee. There we go. There we go. He says it's gonna be 300 by the end of the year. How did he know? Cody says, I'm not trading futures during this nonsense. I will say this to everybody. Something I told my chat. I know a lot of YouTubers say that. It's like, oh, come join. That's the secret sauce. It's just because I'm there every day. Throughout the chat, I stream every night. What I said was, I'm going to be in the futures realm. I'm going to be on a smaller time frame. It'll likely end up being a scalp. But what I want to do is get in. I want to try to take a directional play, put my stop in the green, and hopefully it goes for a run and we get a nice trending day. And that's kind of how it's been. So even Cody is saying, I'm not trading futures during this nonsense. You'd probably want to take your risk off the table a little bit faster, because I do think even with this push up right now, like everything I think is on eggshells. Smaller time frame. We're pushing up a lot. That's cool. But I think some people forget the market does have a short memory, how fast things can turn around. And no way do I want to be just gung ho buying at the absolute peak. And then we remember how fast things can turn around. And then the real dip buy comes. And of course, somebody's buying up all of my contracts because I have to get out of positions. Do you think chips will do worse under Trump? I don't think so. Imagine if we both went long on the ES last night when we spoke about it. Would have been rich. Okay, so let's check out the Dow. I know I had that on here. How annoying. What is going on with this? That's not right. Okay, so absolutely going for it. This is crazy. You know what this reminds me of? Trump was president then too. 2021, when everyone just showed up, and it was just like a normal thing. How much did you make in the stock market today? Just 10%. Yeah, I thought about making 15, but I fell asleep. Again, like I literally just said, eggshells. Would not surprise me to see this. What if the Fibonacci people get happy? It just comes all the way back down to this. A 50% retracement, that's a great pullback and a great spot for a higher low. Okay, so I'm going to draw a blue zone right here. So we have a peak right here, and we have this little hiccup situation right here. In the midst of all of this, we have that little spot. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. Not a sales pitch at all, but Don started over at 0 1 year ago. And after a year of 150 weekly deposits, the account sits at 14,200. Just a year of deposits alone, 7,800. Just saying. Here's the sales pitch. That's not my first year of doing that. Just saying. People come in and say, let's see your trades. Sign up. There's been 4 losses in the last 2 years. Just saying. Anyway. Hang on. I bought stocks in Bitcoin and only went up like $6. I should have bought trading options. No, you shouldn't have. I can tell you right now with how you worded that, and please do not take this the wrong way. You probably don't know enough about options. And options Trust me, that $6 is a whole lot more than what you probably would have done buying the wrong contract because it would just go to zero. Most contracts do expire worthless, 100% loss. Um, stick around. I'll recognize your name if you hear more, and I can help you out. We can go over which ones are good, bad, why at least, and that would probably help you out. But I would be happy with your $6. I don't say I don't really care how much money you have, uh, or anything. It doesn't matter. DK, you will always be my number one option. Kyle, you will see me back on my other channel. I'll put it that way. Friday. You better be there. I need Kathy Woods one fund. Oh, I read that Kathy Woods one fund is minus 8% this year. In a year, the markets are up how much? Oh, that's wild. So let's talk about safe stocks because I've spent a lot of time and I've come on here and I told you guys I think a crash is happening next year. And it might be around that February or March time again. It's kind of where I'm ballparking right now. We're going to play it by ear. The only reason I'm mentioning it now is just more of a keep it in the back of your mind. That's what I'm thinking, and it'll be time to hedge or make those plays then. But there's so typically I take money from my trading account, right? It pays all the bills, pays taxes, and then I move it into my investment account, and that typically gets assigned right away. But right now, it's just going into the investment account. I do sell. I'll sell some cash secured puts. I have no problem with that. But for the most part, it's not just gobbled up. It does not have a place just yet. And that's kind of what I'm doing in the meantime. So what I think now, and the reason why I bought more NVIDIA today, is I've been looking everywhere for safe stocks, defensive stocks. I even bought utilities. Utilities is down. But all this time, and now I actually think as far as a safe stock, what is going to be a safe stock, it really is the Mag 7. I mean, you have Tesla. I mean, listen, Elon gave Trump a lot of money. That doesn't mean he's just got the silver spoon. Probably has some good connections. He might be able to slow some things down, maybe if we could even say that. But if there's going to be a recession, what stocks are going to be good? And that's typically how defensive plays are. Like, what's recession proof? What's doing good? We are in a tech world. What's going to do good? NVIDIA, Tesla, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft. Is there one I didn't list? Apple. Yeah. Apple. We'll throw it in there. Little baby Apple. Those, I think, are actually the safe stocks now. They are up a lot. I think there might be a lot of FOMO there. But I think if we start talking about recession, whether you want to call it money on the sides, well, rotation, liquidity won't be an issue in these stocks. They're going to be here after the recession. You know, in what world do we go into a recession because of unemployment or inflation and NVIDIA gets delisted or Microsoft or Meta or Tesla? Oh, your dividend stocks are the safe ones? I mean, again, they don't call me Dividend Don for nothing. Okay. And my top 3 dividend stocks are Meta, Tesla, and NVIDIA. Okay. Now, with that residual income, okay, I buy things. Someone said, or Enron. Where's the first part of that comment? What about commodities? I think oil is about to become very important under Trump. Oil right now does have the spotlight. Now, I'm actually bullish energy, which is a completely different conversation. So oil, natural gas, and energy storage. I will say, let's wrap this up actually real quick. I've spent all this time looking for safe stocks, and I think I've been in them the whole time. I've been worried because if you guys have been following me for any amount of time, then you know I am basically the NASDAQ, me personally. No, I just have the big names. That's why I've done so well. I've just held the stuff. Later, it became the Magnificent Seven. Like, I've had these stocks before they were called that. I just like where they're at. I like where they're going. Another big thing, I don't know if anyone knew something. We can call that a tinfoil hat theory. But I told every one of you guys multiple times, I mean, borderline breaking the law because I cannot give financial advice. But I told you guys this was a manipulated dip buy. this was creating fear just to buy it. And then I said it happened again. Go back and watch my videos and streams around this time. I said this is going to be like buying Meta at $90. And I can't stress this enough. And what happened in that time? Not only did it shoot up, institutional ownership in Tesla has gone drastically up. So who knew something? Or is this considered a safe stock? So I think a lot of that, there's a lot of money piling into this one. It wasn't because we're going to have a robot in 20 years. I think there's more safety in Tesla than people are willing to admit. So anyway, all that being said, just looking around today, I want to buy the dip on Tesla, which is why I bought more NVIDIA today. I'm going to add to both of those. But I think those actually could be the safe ones. So like I talked about with David, I think if there's going to be any hedges that take place, it might just be in these tickers I'm already in. I already sell calls anyway. So maybe I buy some put spreads, maybe do the 112. I don't know. I for some reason, I'm just not the biggest fan of the 112. I don't know why. But we might just do it anyway. He says, in no way do I think the Magnificent Seven are going to zero. Tech stocks that are killing it now, and you cannot see them going to zero. When Don buys, I buy. I'm a simple guy. Then your numbers might resemble mine. Does buying today make sense? Maybe Monday. Any buying today, and we're gonna get into energy after this. Any buying today, again, I would say you need to probably have a longer term time frame. I wouldn't be buying today thinking it's gonna be way up tomorrow, and I wouldn't just put all my chips on that play. It very well might be. The bull trend might just continue. It might just snap back pretty quickly. So if you have all your chips on that and you buy some Friday expiration options contracts, I mean it's Thursday morning. You might be very unhappy. So anything I buy, end of year. If it was an options contract, for sure, last week of December, if not the first couple weeks of January. I don't know if liquidity might be better. The last couple weeks of December, guys, I might give you the heads up now. I just might take that off. There is almost nothing to do the last couple weeks. YouTubers be talking about tax loss harvesting, and that's why there's a red 15-minute candle. There's nothing there. So I don't know if you want to put myself in a position to have to manage a trade at that time. Of course, giving it till that time doesn't mean I have to hold it that long either. Could I pay for 1 hour Zoom to learn how to get into options trading? Hang on. Wait one second. It's better than Dividend Don. Nas Daddy is great. I'm forever now going to be known as the Nas Daddy. Plain and simple. Banner change. The Santa Claus rally will be. We're probably about to start that now. I'm surprised I haven't seen any YouTube banners about that. Call your Nas Daddy. I will help you with that. I don't know if I'm going to do one-on-ones. I will say I've thought about it. But if you're in my free Discord, so there's levels, right? So if you're on the Patreon, there's level 1 where I just post all my plays. And then there's level 2, which is Mike. He goes live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Then there's level 3, which is everything, right? So you get to see all my streams. You're in my main chat, everything. But I don't feel like I've interacted with the free chat enough. So I would hang tight. Before I just say, hey, pay me for a one-on-one. Why don't you just join some of the mentorship streams and we'll call it. Because I'm going to randomly toss some in there. So just make sure you're in my Discord. The free one. Right. And I'll just randomly tag everybody and we'll see you there. Thursdays are a Zoom night. So make sure your webcam's on. But let me see real quick. We got a lot today. Options are a waste. Oh no. Who did you follow? Fair Value Gary says, "I'm the original owner of Nas Daddy Incorporated. Y'all owe me 30% equity." Unfortunately, this is Nas Daddy with two T's, so different name. I didn't know you had a free Discord. There is, yeah. If you can see all of it, it's up in general chat. That's where everyone's there, all levels. Who just said options are a waste on TikTok? Yeah. If you think options are a waste, you probably followed someone and you probably just have no idea what you're talking about. I don't say it in like a mean way. I would for sure, and I say this all the time, you can blow your account anytime. Just do your research first. Because I can tell you right now, they're not a waste. Who you probably followed was absolutely a waste. All right. MBLY, long possible wheel. Mobileye. Didn't we just talk about these guys? Advanced driver systems. Okay. No, I don't think this. I can tell you right now, this is probably not a wheel. Yeah, I remember this. It just looks like garbage. This one I would rather. I mean, I would go long and running the wheel. Just you have some shares, you sell some calls. When it gets called away, you sell puts. This particular one, I would probably rather just own shares because it looks like we're like starting to curve our way up, especially getting above this right here. If we can actually get above this zone, I'd rather just be in the shares trailing it up. As we have those big green days, I'll sell some calls, collect some rent on it, just make some more free internet money. But I don't know if I would set out to just run the wheel on this. And the options need to be liquid as well. But getting above that, again, I'd rather be in shares. So I can take advantage of share growth and extra money. Irene? Just kidding. Iris Energy. Energy Limited. We didn't have the energy talk. I'm bullish energy. Energy is in the spotlight. I think oil and natural gas are cheap when they are in the spotlight, though. That means volatility is there. I know you guys think the VIX has absolutely collapsed, and it has. But being in the spotlight doesn't have anything to do with the VIX. It just means there's a lot of eyeballs on it, and it could just make random moves. But overall, I am bullish. I wouldn't go into it blindly. I don't know what these guys actually own and if what's in it. Engages in operating institutional grade data centers powered by renewable energy. They're saying all the cool keywords. Energy is a situation. That's another reason I was so bullish Meta. When I found out they were buying up all the property, they're making deals to get all the clean power, forcing these other companies to have data centers outside the US where the power is not so consistent. That was a huge power move from Zuck. Let me just zone that out real quick. Ooh, this is also a Bitcoin miner. I would be bullish this overall. I think I would rather just go long, and my stop would be 945. Let's get into some real tickers. Look at Meta just hanging out. What's funny is David even called this out when I did that live stream with David Jaffe from Best Stock Options, #1 Stock Options. I'm butchering it. Stock Option Strategy. Just watch the stream. It's on Don Fran show. He even said because of the of them suppressing election stuff and all that, maybe not on Trump's best graces. And if Trump wins, we might see that reflected. You know, just like we talked about Tesla going up, Meta might not. And it's funny that Meta hasn't. It pulled back, ultimately holding this zone though. Buyers are still holding this thing up at 565. So I do still like it. If that were to, it'd have to break tomorrow. It'd have to really juice up the 540 puts for me to consider selling those. Thoughts on selling puts if the premium is there? Thoughts on the incoming 47th taking retribution on Zuckerberg? I don't know. Zuckerberg started his damage control. He apologized for suppressing. There was a lot of I'm not finding the right words. Republican stuff, and Facebook suppressed a lot of it. It's no secret, right? It's not tinfoil hat. But he came out and said he's sorry for doing that. The government asked them to remove stuff, and from what it sounds like, if you give a mouse a cookie, they're going to want a glass of milk. It just led to more and more. And then he even said, we're not doing that anymore. And I think that was a lot of his damage control. I think what we're seeing now is the retribution. I don't know if you can attack Meta for it. I just think he's not getting the fruit basket that Elon is. Does that make sense? I think that's why Tesla's up and Meta's not. So I still very much like me. I mean, it's still my number one position. Yeah, Lisa, I forgot. We're just doing it all at once. Elon is getting way more than a fruit basket. He's getting the fancy one where it's like they put the gold flake on everything. Has anyone ever eaten gold flake? I never have. Don't know if I ever will. Yeah, that's weird. Plus, I saw what happened when Magneto showed up. Wasn't good. Guy pulled that money right out. Man, Coin absolutely sent it. Please tell me you got Coin. You have a 255 covered call expiring the 15th. Wait until next week to roll. 255. I would not wait, and if it took till next week, sure. Any red day that had, I would roll. Your granddaughter has in Japan? No taste? Yeah, she has no taste at all. Not fun. I'm just kidding. It's probably cool to take a picture and say that, but I don't know. I don't. I'm thinking of the what do I think of those? The wings. You can get gold chicken wings. We are going to break down the dollar here in a little bit. Steve says if the dollar continues up, it will be hard for equities to keep going. I would think something's got to give. I do think so. Doesn't mean it can't though. Okay, so for my 255, if I'm already thinking like, hey, this is about to go, if that has a red day and snaps back down, I would either buy it back to close or roll it up a strike. And just pretend you're in management mode right now, because you can roll up to is it the 257s, 250 a piece? You probably won't be able to roll it to the 260s unless you went to 2 weeks out. But I would keep an eye on it day to day, and if I could roll it up a strike and collect, I would go ahead and do it. Just get ahead of the curve because I think crypto is probably still going to keep going. So this one's even worth. If it is a serious red day, red enough, and that position's green, I would close it and just enjoy the shares for a little bit. You have 205s on coin. That's going to be a roll. Are you going to roll it, Laura? Or are you going to let that go? I think I would still roll it a couple times. Even if I'm rolling the 205s to 205s, you might not get much at all for that. I was gonna say you might as well. If you're already in the position, you're about to let the shares go, get another week's worth of money in there. It was $14 to close this afternoon, a loss of 1,300. It's hyped right now. I think Vega showed up to that party. A pullback, and then we would talk. Is what I'm thinking. Oh, let me introduce you guys to what management mode is. If you have covered calls on anything tech right now, any of these ones that are absolutely moving, I saw Steve say tech didn't even do that well compared to financials. I think is what he said. You're gonna be rolling up and out for a bit. The big tech didn't have that great a day, considering the financials and others. I'll have to look. Oh, Lee says I only have tomorrow morning or next week to do anything. If tomorrow morning wasn't just glaring red, just wait till next week. You have the time anyway. NVIDIA, I rolled 3 or 7 covered calls. I have for the 11th at 145. Rolled the 3 to 149. Thoughts on rolling the other 4? Um, I I would. Even if NVIDIA pulls back, I'd want to start moving that strike up as much as possible. You'll still get paid to do so, but I think I wouldn't want to just sit out all the growth in NVIDIA right now. You have the 150s for NVIDIA for the 15th. That one's going to be pushing it. But at least you're at the money. So would what? Roll? Yeah, at least I would roll. As far as the growth count goes, I think I'm going to wait till it gets a little bit closer and we're going to roll. I'm really hoping NVIDIA, even though I bought it today, I'm really hoping NVIDIA just says something terrible on earnings. I don't know what it would be. And I don't like when I don't have a bearish case for a stock. So I don't have a reason why, but I hope NVIDIA is just red on earnings. And again, it's not that cocky, like, oh, but it's red because I'm going to buy a bunch, but I'm going to buy a bunch. I would just like to buy it cheaper. Here comes the rolling queen again. Let's see. I'm not around Friday. I can only trade tomorrow morning if opportunity presents itself. Get a head start. I would manage your coin, and then maybe I would just get a head start to the wedding. Tell her I can't say happy birthday. What do you say? Happy wedding? We're there in spirit. I just imagine the nice things. I'm picturing nice things. I stuck with words. How high will Bitcoin go by 2025? $172,672. And make sure you record that, so I can come back and say I told you so. Follow me if you want to go higher. Break a leg. Don't know if that's what you're supposed to say. Yeah. Infinitely finite. But I think I'm going to close all. I might close all those down. Jensen does a press conference and says we're letting Palantir help us be more efficient. No, please don't anymore. Okay, still in this December 20th 350 crowd play. I figure I'd just go after earnings unless a big run up before and move on. Thoughts? Sounds good to me. Ooh, you might be getting that big run. So we gapped into this zone, and then it just kind of halted there. On TikTok, I know someone said these zones are meaningless. This is just a coincidence. Sheer luck. Let's see where we're at. I would monitor it, but it does need to break above. Right now, as far as the gain train goes, it sucks that it's hitting that zone from the bottom like that, because you just got to watch out for a rejection. As long as everything just keeps going to moon status, 100%. I forgot, but I did buy an astronaut helmet that I was going to wear on this stream. Hopefully, I'm wearing that on Friday, and this is way up here. Those zones are cheating. Man, it looks like I would be watching out for this. If I was really going to keep an eye, it'd be this level right here for your call that you're in. Hang on. If by some chance I'm up on that play right here, I would close it, because I bet you reject it and pull back down, and I could lock it in and get back in if I just liked it so much. Green or break even, I would lock it in, just to reposition. If I wasn't and I had to ride it to where it pulled back and then shot up, I don't know if I'd be too concerned about that. Jensen says NVIDIA will adopt super micro strategies, accounting practices. That's what we need. Is it super micro strategies, or am I saying that right? Super micro computer. There we go. SMCI. Listen, I want it to be red. I don't know if I want it to be that red. What's up, middle class investing? Synthetic longs on Tesla. Now do I have to explain what synthetic longs are to everybody? Just trying to create more work for me, huh? Where have you been? You ready to do a what's it called? A collaboration. QQQ, do you think this is the send up part of the crash, or are we just cruising an uptrend? I think we're cruising an uptrend. I wouldn't call this the volleyball spike. That's next year. General question. I asked this earlier in main chat. Do you think the market will react whenever Trump tweets once he is in office the last time? Hang on. Do you think the market will react whenever Trump tweet once he is in office last time? I remember back then, every time he tweeted, there would be a volatile reaction. I do remember that. Sometimes I could have. I don't need anybody kicking in my door, but I could have choked the guy a couple of times. Wondering if that would be the theme of the market for next year. We will have to take that. I for now, I would assume so. I would assume he's going to get his little turbo fingers out and start super typing, and then every 15 minutes, we got to worry about something popping up on X and the market moving 150 points. Every time Trump tweeted, the market went nuts. He gave us a lot of cool hints, though. Employment hasn't been this rate or this low or this high since February 3rd of 1987. So you just go back and look at that date and like, okay, so that's what the report's going to say tomorrow. I like that part. Whatever happened when I was for everyone on TikTok, I was driving and I was on the turnpike coming from Texas to Missouri. There's a part where I don't have signal and I'm up $6,000 around there, I think. I'm like, all right, this is cool. Good day. I'm about to lose signal. No big deal. I come out and I finally get signal and I'm down $3,000. And I forgot what he tweeted, but it was something, and I could have lost my mind. Hood. The exact opposite of what I just explained what my account looked like. Up a whole bunch. Gotcha. Hood's absolutely sending it. What do we do? Gapped into the zone and then pushed up. We need some new. Oh, we already have a new zone. Looks like that 35 mark's going to be it on Hood. We might pull and just make a random lower high. I don't know. I would be more worried about 35 on Hood than anything else. 30 is going to be some psychological level, I'm sure, for somebody. Personally, not me. If it pulled back into that 28 zone, I would say that's a dip buy. I sold the 25.50 calls on Hood. Fixed it. Okay. What's going to happen is Hood is probably going to sell off to 25.45 by that dip. Goldman Sachs. Riot, is it time? Let's see. Middle class investing. Do not let me forget. I gotta go down the list real quick, but I will do that. Riot, another gap and go. I guess technically, as far as like technical analysis goes, I'd keep an eye on the 1250 area for Riot, but I would be bullish, and I don't know if this would be chasing or not. I think there's a strong argument to be buying right here, and if you're really just zoomed in as a day trader, just look at the 15-minute time frame, you might think that's really overbought. Then it might be. You might just want to wait for a pullback into the 11s. I would make that decision sooner or later. The worst thing you could probably do right now is think, I don't want to chase it. And then it gaps up to 13.50. Like, I don't want to chase it. And then it really goes to 15. Like, I'm just going to get in. And then it pulls back and you're going to emotionally take a loss for no reason. It's a conversation I had the other day with my group is I would rather front run the risk right now. And if it makes that move, put my stop in the green, kick my feet up on the desk, and just not have to worry about it. DJT went from plus 45% overnight to a close of plus 6% and now minus 10. Tomorrow, all the cooked numbers over the past year are going to be deflated. Revenge of the Dims. I don't know. It's an interesting take. Uh, Middle class doesn't bring up a good point. It says, I'm looking to offload my Bitcoin miner stocks. Too much dilution. That's usually the name of the game with them. Right now, there's just a lot of hype. So they are momentum trades. They're not really holds for me. Have some serious FOMO on Palantir. Nvidia's like a bird flying away. Well, at least we have Nvidia. As far as Palantir goes, still I wouldn't have any FOMO. It's incredibly annoying. Man, did it go for it? 55. Hmm. I don't know what you can do with Palantir. I wouldn't buy it right here. I'm not buying calls. I don't know if I'd really want to buy puts either. Because Palantir might just pull over and go sideways. And if you bought puts, you're cooked. It's just going to go sideways. You're going to slowly lose your money until it expires. I think Palantir, the only thing you can do is a wait for the dip buy. If for some reason you think that 2 standard deviations, they're going to rein it back into 1, maybe you can buy some 50 strike puts. If you want to gamble it, I would look at that as, again, not a negative connotation, but the roulette wheel. You can put your money on red or black, and then that ball's going to roll, and you're going to see where it lands. It's about all the faith I would have in buying puts on Palantir. But I don't care. I don't get FOMO. It's either sideways or down, and then I would buy it. U.S. dollar, Japanese yen. Fundamentals change. U.S. political change supports the dollar due to expectations of stronger economic policies and higher inflation. I was thinking a little bit about that. I'm still overall bullish the yen, though. Yen resistance from interest rate divergence and global economic sentiment. The carry trade back on. Short, stop if wrong, 155.6. 155. That puts us right there in that zone. Honestly, it'd be 155.5. Gets above that, you could probably revisit it in that zone. We're in a monthly zone right now. I would probably bump that stop up a little bit. Or how high might I go? No, right there. I'm not gonna just go short and ride this thing all the way up. FOMC Thursday projecting a 25 basis point cut is USD bearish. It is. We'll see if we get that. Oh man, I was kind of curious if we were gonna not get a cut. Right now, if we don't want to shock the market, they need to cut at 25 basis points. When's a good time to buy Tesla? Now? Well, your name is Hemi Power, so I would change it to Battery Power, and then I would buy Tesla. Middle class investing says yesterday. To answer your question, 1, I legally can't. 2, it always depends on where you think the stock is going. Because if you're on a smaller time frame, where do you think this thing's going to be in the next 15 minutes? Are you on a mid time frame? Like, hey, where do I think this thing's going to be in 6 months or a year? I would think it's going to be up from wherever we are now. Your execution really changes depending on the forgiveness, if you will, changes a lot on your time frame. If you're looking to trade this thing and be in and out in an hour, you really need to ninja snipe those dip buys. If you're going to be in this for the next 6 months and you're bullish, then is the market open? Do your thumbs work? Sounds like a dip buy, no matter when it is. It's kind of like with Bitcoin. People are asking me like when I buy a coin, it's are you going to wait to get it lower? Like, listen, I think it's going to 500,000. So what do I care if I buy it at 75,000 or 70,000? That doesn't mean jack to me personally. Now, if I plan on selling all my Bitcoin at 80,000, that's a big difference. They're saying 25 basis points tomorrow. Good. They need to keep it. We don't need any surprises right now. We got enough to digest. Do you think financials will drop back down soon? Is that what really drove the Russell? It for sure is. Wow. Hang on. JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. Our savior. Wells Fargo is red, but still like a twinkle, twinkle, little star. I know it's how it has a name. I'm sure. Wells Fargo's like, "Oh, I'll be red. We're just gonna be way up here in red." Wow. Man, I don't know. Financials really. Let's. What about the digital finance? Even they're up. Is it block? What is block? Square. That's what it is. All up. Ooh, man. Abandoned baby. I think it's abandoned baby if it gaps back down. What caused this push up today? Obviously, Trump. Trump came in and said, "I will stimulate the markets." I think that's what his victory speech said. It said, "F all the energy stocks for solar," and I think don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's pretty close to what he said. Financials are good. I will personally back them, and solar sucks. Please, someone on TikTok, just understand that I'm being sarcastic right now. Oh, what would I do with this? I tell you right now, this is a sit and wait. I would mark this level right here. It's hard on an ETF, but maybe go to JP Morgan, whatever one you're trading inside of this, and I would watch that gap up, because if we just sit there and go sideways, I'd say it's a buy. I'd say the bears showed up, couldn't do anything with it. That tells me the bull trend's still very much intact. If it breaks that, wait for a further dip buy. I would set an alert as it gets lower. I would move the alert down and just go that route. When the alert goes off, hey, at least it took a green day to get it, and then I would buy the dip. But it certainly would be a how can I buy this scenario, not how can I short this thing. Trump will fire Powell when he gets in and put someone in who will drop rates. I remember that drama last time. Tesla dropped down tomorrow. Tomo. Hopefully. Tesla's up there. Man, we're playing the ping pong game between these two zones. Ooh, this is a messy chart. Hang on, guys. We're going to have to delete some of this. We don't need all the nonsense. Don't need these zones anymore. That's irrelevant. Remember that one time I told you if we get above this, we're talking about all-time highs. We did. And here we are. All-time highs. Just kidding. Gosh, Tesla's way up there. Hopefully it pulls back. Tesla at 245. There's going to be a Tesla stream that night, and how much I bought. No, I'm not going to lie. I'm very, very bullish Tesla right now. How far into 2027 am I going to have to roll my Palantir covered calls? I'd say no further than November, December. Where would I sell more covered calls? I'd have to go outside I'd just do 1.5 the expected move. That's kind of all you can do right now. As far as Palantir goes, if it's expecting a $2 move, I'm selling $3 higher. It's probably not expecting the $2 moves anymore. So you'll probably end up selling like $7 out. So you end up selling like if this was Friday's close, you'd end up selling the 6250s. I would roll what you have now. What do you have? You have the 40, the 47s, 49s, 54s. I would try to roll those. I would try to roll them all up, actually. I was thinking, if this just pulled back and goes sideways, the 49 and 54 are gonna be looking good. Your 44 and 47 are like some stragglers that need to be picked up. Everyone is purchasing Tesla this week. Maybe. Here's the thing, though. Are shorts getting out? The last thing you want to be is short Tesla when you just saw him at all the Trump rallies and Trump just got president. So I'm sure there's some momentum buying. There's momentum traders in there. There's people buying the dip, the money on the sides. institutional ownership has gone up a lot in Tesla, more than double. Shorts, did I already say shorts probably got out? So I wouldn't be going crazy, but I would put a plan together. Again, I can tell you guys right now, I've been doing this for 12 years. There's always a red candle. Nothing goes straight up. Sometimes the red candle takes a week. Big deal. I had a zone at 300 to 307, then a clean move to all-time highs. Are you using zones? What are you doing? 300 to 307? Who taught you how to do zones? Ooh, I might actually agree with that. I'm going to put it right here. That 302 to 307, yeah. That's where mine would be at. That says, I'll pick up Tesla at 180 again. What's up, Terry? Hopefully, Terry, you're just now getting in here, right? Look at gold. I bought gold today, so it better be up. I better be looking at how much I made today. That's all I want right now. I am in Boeing as well. I see that in TikTok. Let's see. Where would I be selling Tesla covered calls for this week and next, assuming you really want to keep the shares? Oh, probably just shy of 2 standard deviations. No way would I want to just really put myself at risk with this. So whatever where's the expected move at? Did we delete that on accident? Oh, it's right here. The expected move's right here. Yeah, we're already at 2. So honestly, I would wait on next week's. If Monday sends it and you can sell 2.5 standard deviations, I would do that. But Tesla has that cult following, and if they got the pitchforks and torches out, they're going for a march. You might think 308 doesn't pay anything or it's not that much. Tesla could be at 308 tomorrow. So it would have to be in the threes for sure. Of course, I learned this from this chill guy called Don Fran. Know him? Save me from the Ricky Noob Fest. Nice. I mean, I like it, especially because your YouTube channel is even bigger than mine. I like that. I'm a little biased to zones, though. Yes. I don't know if you missed it earlier. My name has changed to NazDaddy. You know. Lockheed Martin. Man, I would just go long this just because the dip by right here. Gosh, and there's a zone right there. My stop would be 531.45. Let's check out Boeing real quick because I want to show you guys why I'm in Boeing. I don't care that it's down. This got called out in my group, and I never have volume up, but look at that. Probably thinking, what? This thing is kind of hanging out, largely not really going anywhere. We're kind of trending down. Volume starting to trend up in the midst of this kind of just flattening and hanging out here. Look at these volume days right here. A lot of volume picking it up, and it didn't go anywhere. That tells me someone's gobbling it up. So for me, that's why I'm in it. 100%, that is why I'm in it, because I saw the volume there. Flattening. Overall, we have this trend line, sure. But I wasn't going to buy it until I saw that. It got called out in my group because somebody asked me about that. That instantly changed my mind. I bought it the next day. Gold, I am still in, but by an absolute miracle. No, never mind. Nope, I'm out. So looks like I took a loss on gold. I must have missed the alert. I had my stop below this wick and not that much room, so I stopped out at gold. I caught the knife earlier on gold. We were looking like this. This is gonna be good. But it wasn't. So it broke. I took an L. I would have another knife catch right here. Hang on, we're going to have to lower that down. If I'm going to catch the knife, it's there. If I'm going to go short, it needs to maybe bounce right here. It's 26.42. Hit that zone, and then I could go short with my stop above that green wick. What did Ashley say? She says she's dying. Oh, Naz Daddy. That's right. That's my name now. Is it weird if I got that on a license plate? That another zone just below that was drawn on the Cody Fron stream. Okay, Doge. I remembered what it was. I couldn't remember what this stood for earlier. Um, Department of Government Efficiency. They're saying that's what it's going to stand for with Elon. That's what he's going to be in the not the White House, help out with the government. How did that work out so perfectly to spell out Doge like that? If you want to talk about dilution, oh gosh, Doge. I think they make more Dogecoin than Powell could print dollars with wide open throttle. That being said, it's on the move up right now. I would have to be bullish, I guess. For sure, just trailing it. I would treat this like a momentum ticker. The second that turns around, I would be out. Again, sorry for anybody that thinks this is some sort of movement or anything like that. That's not me. I've never had a movement pay my bills. So until that day comes and I can monetize it, I have to stick with what pays the bills. So for now, as long as it keeps going up and I'm in it, just keep moving that stop up. I guess I would stop out at 18.5 cents. Is the market going to keep mooning this week? If it does, I have an astronaut helmet for Friday's stream. I hope it does. Solana. What is that? Middle class investing. What was the two you wanted me to break down? Oh wow, Solana's going for it. Ooh, Solana's in a very interesting spot. Honestly, I would be tightening up my stops on Solana. 179.45 would be my stop on that one. All right, love Southwest Airlines lagging behind the other airs. Higher lows on a daily, still pretty cheap. I don't know. Airlines just started to just go up one day. I was like, oh, we can buy these. First of all, why is it lagging? Some people really like it when it lags. It's like, oh, it's going to play catch up, like it has to. They're not tied to each other. They're in the same sector, but they're not chained together. So on the other side of that coin, I always wonder, why is it lagging? Like I don't want Gimpy in the back. And I'm sorry if that's insensitive. I want the guy in first place, just sprinting and killing it. That's just who I want on my team. Why is it lagging is ultimately my question. And why should I put money in it? I know everyone likes an underdog, and it makes for great movies, not wallets and bank accounts. That's making higher lows, though. I would cautiously be bullish. 29.85? Yeah, 29.85 would be my stop, and that would be it. SUI and SEI. These are coins, right? Oh, look on the weekly for love. Okay. I stopped talking for 2 seconds to look at the chart, and TikTok's like, "We've detected no sound. Are you still here?" Like, pump the brakes. Yeah, Jesus. Thoughts on AMD? I do like the idea of selling puts on AMD. I was looking at it earlier. Did not make the play today, but I do like the idea of it. Hmm. I guess that's just going for it. I graduated from Don's class years ago. Yeah. Oh, Lisa should join the group. He was in. He even started a YouTube channel and surpassed me. He talks a lot nicer than I do. Let's see. What was it? SEI. I like the first one better. This one looks like it's on the struggle bus. It breaks above 50 cents. I'd say that could probably turn into a momentum style. Right now, it probably really needs to break above 44. These are your main plays for crypto this cycle? Okay. Solana's your biggest? Solana's performed looks so far the best. Ooh, Reyes, I'm going to have to answer that one. I thought AMD was going to be the last. Looking at this, I thought about selling puts just at this zone. It has been dubbed the automatic money destroyer in the group. But for now, I like that. I like the looks of a higher low, so I kind of like selling puts right here. I wouldn't be too scared to own AMD. However, I would rather have the money in Nvidia. So if I sold puts, I got assigned. I'm not trying to die on that hill. If I sold the 140s and I got assigned, I'd probably sell the 140 calls and then just let them go. I wouldn't even roll and let it go. I'd rather have that money available in case there was a better dip buy on Nvidia. Yeah, I've done all the tickers, Cody. Watching Don keeps me from over trading silver. Silver? What does it move? A tick every week? What did you literally just call out that I said I was going to have to break down? Enphase. Okay, thoughts on Enphase below 80. I don't know if you heard Trump's acceptance speech or his victory speech, but it was, I'm going to make oil so cheap, these are worthless. These are trash. I'm summing it up for you, but that's basically what I heard from it. And it's no surprise that Enphase is down. I personally do still like it, but now I do own Enphase. I'm not adding on right now. Let's get into the that's fine. You don't have to help me. Pretty much Enphase going out of business. It sounded pretty bearish. I don't know. I think it's let's hang tight on this one for now. It's at a great support level, and I think some knife catchers. It always looks great until that selling just continues, and if it breaks this $70 area, oh man, where's the next floor? 22. You ready to ride that wave? We'll probably have a nice little hiccup at the $40 mark, maybe 60. Also, let's bankrupt all solar while we're at it. Enphase fundamentals are great, but let's let it digest this shock first. I think you worded that perfectly. Yeah, I think it's put it on your watch list, but there's no need to catch this blade right now. DJT gapped up, hit that zone, sold off. Just another coincidence. I would probably sell this so fast your head would spin. You would probably assume I voted for Kamala. That's how fast I would sell this. I know the lockup period is either done or almost done, and I don't see Trump not selling his shares for something. I just think you have some red flags on this. That was your momentum. Trump won. Yay! And that's as high as it went. That would be the concerning part for me. Uh, yeah, I hate to word. I don't know how to word it any other way. Uh, when this thing starts to really sell off, you're going to find buyers are harder and harder to find. So your market order is just going to fill much and much less. Trump will be charging for sunshine before his term is over. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Exactly. That's exactly what you're seeing. 17,000 likes? Seriously? Oh, wow. YouTube, where are you at? TikTok's got 17,000. That's what I have subscribers on Don Fran Show. All right, I'm going to do a couple more. I meant to go over Home Depot earlier. Snow. I kind of like snow. I think snow. I like it because it's at these levels and holding. Would not want it with my money or yours if it breaks 113. So 112.45 is where my stop would be at. And it's kind of like, yeah, if it breaks this, no, someone else can lose their money on that. Again, I only like it because it's kind of rounding. We're starting to creep our way back up. Kind of like it. Lisa says, "You're welcome." 17,000 likes. Coca-Cola. Turns out it makes people fat. Or I'm not supposed to say that on social media. I think the United States is really coming to terms with it. It's got a lot of calories, making you big. Just kidding. It's so tasty. I've been on a Coke Zero kick, and it's because I'm battling a monster addiction. So I bet on their next earnings, it'll reflect that I've been buying Coke Zero a lot, which is ultimately bullish. If I'm buying for a dividend, I would buy it up right now. No need to wait. If I was just kind of really being selective, even as a trade, I would like at the $60 mark. If this were to gap up into that zone tomorrow, then I'd be bullish. That shows me we're kind of holding here. The buyers picked it right back up. Let's just check extended hours. Yeah. If I took it as a trade, it's not the biggest mover. 62.85 would be my my stop on this. Let's see. You're going heavy, Coca-Cola? Have you ever seen the dividend on NVIDIA? Just saying. NVIDIA's got the dividend. Gosh, there was a reason why. Was it? I think it was rates. There was a reason why related to, maybe it was related to Trump. I heard somebody talking about it, and that's what made me think I should probably check out Home Depot. Dropped right down to that yellow box. I do still like it, but here, guys, anything that sold off today. So we had a Trump win. This is our first day of the market that we finally know who's going to be the next president. And you have a range of things that really shot up and really sold off. If it really sold off today, like Home Depot looks great. I even like the stock. Got earnings right around the corner. If it sold off today, I would just err on the side of caution for now. Why? Maybe it's a coincidence. If it's a coincidence, that's your reason to buy. But why did it? What were they so afraid of? Because it probably has some merit to it. And if people are voting with their wallets and they're voting down, why do you need to put yourself on those train tracks? Just wait a little bit. Let's see if that continues. Let's digest the news. Let's sleep on it over the weekend and then check back next week. Someone is setting off fireworks right now. Is that not normal where you live? Classic buy the rumor, sell the fact. Yeah. Your channel is awesome. I appreciate that, Terry. FDX, then we do have to roll out of here. FedEx, huh? Well, people ship things over the wintertime. Or no, Christmas, right? Isn't that why you should buy it? Okay, so we really sold off on earnings. Turns out everyone that works there is a former Jim Carrey. You guys ever see the Ace Ventura when he just delivers that package? That's who delivers my packages, I think. Kind of grinding up. Man, that not a lot of follow through with the Bulls. You know, we really jumped off the third story here, and then we're just kind of picking ourselves back up. How do we look? Bigger term looks a lot, or longer term looks a lot better. Okay. I guess I'd be long. I'd be long this. My stop would have to be 268.85. No, Lisa, I did not. I'll answer that right now. So what strike would I sell on Meta? If I could collect anything for 540 next week, I would do that. I think Home Depot sold off because of bonds crashing. Home builders got torched today, as well as Lowe's. Okay. Well, that action needs to stop first before I go buying any dips. And it was bonds. I was thinking something with rates, but Tesla shorts yet for this Friday? Ugh. Roulette money. That is money I would put on the table, and that dealer is going to stack those chips or take them away. There's no stop loss. There is nothing. If I was going to buy a put or try to short Tesla, that's what I would do. I would probably do a put. I don't know if I would even do shares. One, I can't because I own shares. But two, I wouldn't want to tie up the capital. And the last thing I would want is I think to gap up $40. I would rather gap up $40 and I lose my put versus I'm in shares going short and get wrecked. Will Elon release a Starlink stock? Not yet. But if you guys did watch Elon on Joe Rogan, I will finish up with this right here. He just glazed over the fact that he's making Starlink work with cell phones without being modified. Like, are you kidding me? He just said that at the end because Joe was talking about how he had signal on the Starlink Mini. He goes, "Oh, I'm out in Utah. I'm in the mountains. I have signal." He goes, "Oh yeah, we're gonna eventually do it here in a few months. It's gonna work with cell phones without even modifying them." And then they just move on. Like, oh, no, wait a second. You back that up right now. You're gonna do what? You're telling me my cell phone's gonna have service wherever? Do you know what kind of service I have? If you've been following me for longer than 15 minutes, then you know my service sucks. I can't wait for that. So that's going to be amazing. Still don't know what that means. That means that's a lot of revenue coming for Starlink. Because if you can pay for that service, there's a lot of cell phone services that suck. That's going to take a lot of business. How many times did I say Starlink? Listen, you're right. All right, Cody, I'll give you that. That's why your name is Blue. Okay. Anyway, I got to wrap it up. But yeah, go watch that. If you don't really care for the Joe Rogan, fast forward to the end. It's actually 2 hours and 38 minutes. Fast forward to 2 hours and 30 minutes. Elon says in 20 years, there will be more humanoid robots than humans. And then they're talking about the Starlink thing, which is wild. Just watch the last 8 minutes. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up here, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you guys tomorrow. Actually, if you're in my free Discord, you will see me tomorrow on a Zoom call. Have a good one. I'll see you then.